Dude, you must be cold. You look like you're bundled up for winter up there in Jersey.
No, I'm just wearing sorry, Atlanta boy. Wearing a sweatshirt.
It was 29 degrees here last night. I mean, it was burr here in Atlanta. But look, for the next 2 weeks, I'll be slumming it up there with you guys in the Northeast. I got
my heart bleeds for you as I go down to Boca.
Are you going to go to the Boca Bowl? Have you
I
made
am not.
arrangements?
If you were coming down, we would figure out a way to go to the Boca Bowl because your beloved Orangemen are there.
What if you just told Carly I was coming down and she wouldn't want to see me and you go to the Boca Bowl?
I don't care enough.
Oh, fair enough.
And it's actually the day we get down.
Oh.
So I would be missing. We have a 4:00 flight, so we'd probably be missing part of it anyway.
So the day that you get down is the Boca Bowl, and the day you come back is the only day that the Devils play. So yeah, not gonna see either one of those. But yeah, welcome to the show, everybody. That's Seth Kamens. I'm Sean Palmer, Seth and Sean Sports, and we are here on December 13th. And if I had the Jim Mora, if I had it queued up, I would certainly throw it, but I was like, playoffs? You're talking about playoffs, fantasy football playoffs, ladies and gentlemen. And how do you spell irony, Seth? How do you
FLACCO?
And I wish Seth was in his office today so he could hit the bobblehead doll.
I could high five the Joe Willie Flacco bobblehead. Wow.
So, by the way, we got a quarterback today. Another one.
Which one did I was going to call? I tried to call you to ask who you're going to.
Yeah, we could. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's just give an idea of where we were. So, if you haven't tuned into the show, 3 weeks ago, Seth and I waved the white flag. We were done. We made a big trade in our league to prepare us for next season. The first season we were.
And to give any perspective for those of you who care, we have not missed the playoffs in 11 years in this league. Not once.
Not once.
And this was, I thought, the best team we ever had.
And I disagreed. I did disagree at the very beginning. I said this was not – you and I had different opinions of this team.
Yes. But to be fair, if our team was 50% healthy, we would have been a 1 or a 2 seed.
Correct.
I mean, quarterbacks were Tua, who was better than we anticipated. Cousins, who was top 7.
Who was great when he was healthy.
Yeah. So Tua, Cousins. Our running backs were Nick Chubb and Cam Akers. Wide receivers.
And Alexander Madison, because he was our
Alexander
keeper.
Madison. Wideouts were Cooper Kupp. I'm laughing as I'm saying this. Chris Olave and
Cortland Sutton and Marquise Brown. And Smith and Jabba.
And Smith and Jabba.
And
our tight end was Mark Andrews.
And Charbonneau. And I did my annual amazing feat of picking 3 middle linebackers who have ruled the roost for us. I mean, seriously, we get more out of our linebackers than I think any team in the league. We average 30 points a week from 3 linebackers. That's insane. But so
it didn't matter because our whole team was injured.
Right.
And with 2 weeks to go, we had a 4% chance to make the playoffs.
Was that what it was? I didn't actually see what our
4% chance.
4% chance. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
but you say there's a chance.
The gods smiled. So our lineup last week. Now we just showed you what our lineup was to start. Our lineup last week was nowhere close to what our lineup was opening day. So we started as remember, 2 quarterback league. Our starting quarterbacks were all hail Joe Willie Flacco and Bailey Zappi. But after Thursday night, when Bailey Zappi puts up 25 points, we're thinking we're doing okay.
And to be fair, we're playing the number 1 team, the 2 seed in the entire league.
Right. So we didn't think so. A lot of things had to go right for us to make the playoffs. But the one thing that absolutely had to go right was we had to win. If we lost, we were out. So our running backs, remember, we started with Chubb, Akers, and Madison. We finished with Madison, Chubba Hubbard, and Gus Edwards. And by the way, his name is not Chubba, it's Chuba, but I will continually call him Chubba Hubbard.
Like Chubba Wubba?
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's like Bubble Yum.
Oh, I was thinking about the group that sang Tub Thing.
That's Chamba Wamba.
I was close.
You were close. Okay, and our wideouts are Olave, Kupp, and Garrett Wilson, with our tight end being Sam Laporta.
So the trade was Tua for all intents and purposes was Tua for Wilson and Laporta, both of them to be keepers next year.
Right. And now we are in the playoffs. We are huge underdogs. I mean, huge. We're facing the number 3 team. I think we're underdogs by 50. No,
it was 48. Yeah.
39. 39. 186 to 147. 39 points.
But that's why they play the games.
If you look at this, and I'm going to present, if you look at our screen where we are today, you will see we are favored in defensive players, Justin Tucker and Chris Olave. That's it. Everything else is advantage. So how do we win this game, Seth? There is a way to win. Number one, Geno Smith has to be out. Has to be out.
Who's his backup?
CJ Stroud, who also has to be out. Because that gives us 20 points. Right? Right then and there. That gives us.
Is there a quarterback for us to pick up to block?
We did it already. So today we played the game, right? Today we played the game and we picked up Easton Stick, who is the quarterback from the Chargers.
Who may be worth starting.
Agreed. Who may be worth starting, but are you going to start him over Joe Willie? That's what it comes down to. Okay. Do you start him over First of all, Joe Willie has only 12. His projected is only 12.8, while Bailey is 13.5. So
you have more confidence. Chicago's defense is terrible.
The other thing is Easton Stick also plays Thursday night.
Yes.
So we have to make that decision pretty early if we're going to make it, like by tomorrow. As tomorrow is Thursday. The Mexican Fury, our nemesis, if you will, he does not have, so he has Lamar, Geno, and Stroud. Oh, he's got Will Levis. Darn it. Did not see he had Will Levis. So he has 4 quarterbacks. Oh, well. There goes that. So I guess the only way we win is if Puka has a bad game and Cooper Kupp has a great game. We could win that. Because he's got Geno as questionable. Keenan Allen may or may not play tomorrow. If Keenan Allen doesn't play, he's got Jalen Hyatt. That's his backup. So
okay. I mean,
it'll be helpful. But
to be fair, we also need a Mexican Fury to win this week, I think, in order to get in the week before.
We did. So they helped us last week. I mean, whatever. We're in the playoffs, man. We're in the playoffs. We don't get any money for the playoffs in this league, but we're in the playoffs. I don't think we get money for the playoffs in this league. I did not. So as hard as it was to make this league playoffs, I started in my last league, in my other league, 5-1, and did not make the playoffs. And I lost on a 3-team tiebreaker. The number 8 seed, well, you and I talked about it. There are 12 teams in the league. 6 of the teams either finished 7-7, 6-8, or 8-5, 8-5, or 8-6. Like it was, everybody was in the middle. And one team, and I won one game by 0.2. So you know what? I probably didn't deserve to be there anyway. The 7 team jumped me to go to 6. sorry, the 8 team jumped to go to 6, and the 3 team dropped to 8. So in 1 week. But you know what? If you're, as I have said numerous times, if you are the 65th team or the 66th team in the NCAA tournament, and next year, if you are the 13th team in your 12-team bracket for the BCS or whatever you want to call it, you don't have a leg to stand on when it comes to playoffs. You just don't.
Playoffs?
Playoffs.
I got playoffs?
Yeah. So how did you wind up?
5 leagues, 5 playoffs.
Excellent.
1 seed, 3 seed, 5 seed, 2 6 seeds.
That is amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, do you have a chance of winning any of these, or is it just like we don't have a chance of winning our league?
No. I think
we're happy to be there. This is where we're happy to be there, right? We do the dance. We're just happy.
Dance of joy, the dance of joy, the Balky Beltakamus dance of joy.
I think so, because you know what? Like I said to you yesterday, I'm just happy to have something to watch on Saturday. I mean, tomorrow, I don't know if we have, if either one of us has anybody in. If we play Easton Stack, obviously we'll have a guy to watch tomorrow, which may be worth even just playing him so we have something to watch tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm actually having some guys over to watch the game.
Yeah.
Because I'm never home. So
right. So tomorrow we have, if we want to play Easton Stack, we have him. We have Sam Laporta on Saturday night at 8:15, and we have Zaire Franklin. We have a couple of people on Saturday, 2 defensive players, so we should be up by then. And but I'm not sure if the Fury have anybody for Saturday or before. We're going to take a look at that right now.
I'll read you some of my teams. You tell me if you think I have a shot.
Oh, so hold on. Fury have Devontae Adams and Keenan Allen tomorrow night.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
all hail the San Diego defense. That's what we're banking on here.
Fifth place league.
Okay.
2 QB, 2 running back, 3 wide out, 1 flex.
Okay.
Quarterbacks are Lamar and Tua. Running backs Saquon and James Conner. Tight end is Trey McBride. Wideouts Olave, Drake London, and Cortland Sutton.
Your wideouts are hit or miss.
They're 3 number 2 receivers.
Oh, I don't think Drake London's a number 2, but that's just.
He has been the last couple of weeks.
Okay, fair enough.
So I don't know if I don't know. It's a 12-team league. We'll see. The league I've been in forever. Quarterback Stroud and Mahomes. Running backs are Kamara, Zeke, Derrick Henry. I can also play Kenneth Walker. Wideouts Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, Terry McLaurin. And tight end is Jake Ferguson.
Okay.
Not bad, not terrible.
Yeah.
Going to the league I was number 1 in, and this team I was 11-1, and this team is starting to fall apart because of injuries. Because the name of the team is the Sparkle Farts, because my farts are sparkly. So quarterbacks are now. It was Justin Herbert. Now it's Kyler Murray and Dak Prescott. Running backs, I have to start 2 is Kamara, Kenneth Walker III, and Najee, and I have Ty Chandler also. Wideouts, Beckham, Diggs, Pittman, Jaden Reed, Terry McLaurin. I had Kristen Kirk, who's injured. Again, it doesn't feel like a championship team to me.
Yeah.
They were 11-1 with Herbert getting hurt and Najee Harris stinking up the joint and Kirk getting hurt. I've had the best record all year, but I'm not really feeling that confident with that team. The team I think I have the best chance to win with is the team I've actually had a lot of problems with over the last couple of years. But injuries didn't kill us as much this year as it did prior years. 1 QB, 1 running back, 1 wideout, 4 flex.
Okay.
Quarterback is Stafford. This is the one our draft quarterbacks were Deshaun Watson, Anthony Richardson, and Derek Carr.
Right.
So on our 5th, if Stafford can hold up, I think we have a shot. Running back Barkley, wide receiver Chase, tight end Kincaid. 4 flex though, and this is where we've kind of killed it this year.
4 flex
is DJ Moore, Michael Pittman, Brandon Ayuk, in either AJ Dillon or Terry McLaurin. But Pittman and Ayuk have been, and DJ Moore have been sensational. Been absolutely incredible for us.
Okay.
That team, I think, has a shot. So,
all right.
I'm hoping 3 of them make the semis, 2 make the finals, and hopefully I win 1 or 2. I mean, that's, I think, the practical, the reasonable look. If I can pull you away from your phone.
Oh, sorry. I am getting a work call, so I needed to deal with this, and I'm finishing that up as a text. So I apologize. So overall, though, you're thinking so you got 2 chances out of these. Yes.
I think the 3 seed team has a real shot. I think I can. The 1 seed, I got a decent shot because Prescott and Kyler Murray keep me afloat. I think one of the Yahoo leagues, the Tua Lamar Jackson, if they get hot at the right time, I got a shot.
Fair enough.
I think the 1 team that has no chance is ours.
Nope.
But I just wanted to keep the playoff streak going.
Yeah,
I wanted to be Derek Jeter. I wanted to have no irrelevant games. I've done that.
Well, and we were right. We were in. Like I said, we definitely raised the white flag. Like that's the thing, right? You raise the white flag, and all of a sudden you go on a run. We just had incredibly good luck the last couple of weeks. I mean,
but to be fair, we also had incredibly bad luck through the year.
I agree with that, but I mean, when you think about Sam Laporta putting up 29 1 week, right? I mean, I love Sam Laporta. I'm glad we got him. But putting up 29 is a little bit more than we had banked on him.
Yes.
Last week, nobody counts on Bailey Zappi putting up 25 and Joe Willie putting up 27.
Yeah, I was texting you while you were with your whomever.
With my whomever? With my friend.
With your friend. And I'm just like, I know you're not watching this because you shouldn't be.
I wasn't.
But holy crap, Bailey Zappi.
I got the text the next morning. I did.
You were preoccupied.
I was preoccupied. But then again, week 13, which is when we raised that white flag, right? We raised it right before week 13, which was, again, a very late, as we said, you were indicating, a very late trade deadline.
Trade deadline.
Right? Like a ridiculously late trade deadline for us. We were doing pretty well in week 13. I mean, week 13, we won by 8. But again, guys were definitely more than you thought, right? I mean, Flacco puts up 19. Chuba Hubbard puts up 24. Laporta puts up 31. I mean, we survived Marquise Brown putting up a donut of 0 in our flex. Like, by the way, Marquise Brown never to be seen again on our team, ever, for any year. And the irony is, ladies and gentlemen, and it's not so much that we won with Joe Flacco. Those that have not followed this show have to understand the disdain that my colleague has for Joe Flacco. Disdain. I don't think Seth has hated a player, or at least hated the concept of him being the highest paid player for 1 game, because basically that's all you bank it on, was 1 game. Joe Flacco was the highest paid player in the NFL 2 seasons for basically just, I don't know, betting on himself, right? Nothing wrong with that.
No. It's the idea that him beating Denver, he had a great 3-game run. But him beating Denver in Denver on that, I forget who it was to. Not Clarence Moore. I forget who.
He was
And then
Mike Wallace, wasn't it?
who?
Was it Mike Wallace?
Mike Wallace was in Pittsburgh.
You sure? I thought he then played in Baltimore.
It was somebody's name started with a J. I don't remember what it was.
Okay, I'm doing it right now. Go ahead. The fact that he did that, right? Jacoby Jones.
There you go. See? I said it started with a J. I just couldn't remember the name.
Didn't disagree with you.
Then beat San Francisco in that weird Super Bowl.
The Colin Kaepernick Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
The lights went out.
The lights did go out in, well, I was going to say Georgia, but I don't really remember.
And not on Broadway either.
No, they did. It was definitely not on Broadway. That he became the highest paid quarterback in football I thought was utterly ridiculous.
By the way, the highest paid player in the NFL, not even the highest paid quarterback. He was the highest paid player in the NFL for 2 seasons.
Utterly ridiculous.
Joe Flacco has earned in his career, you want to take a guess?
$212 million.
Oh, I don't think it's that much. That would be a lot.
Well, I think he signed a 6-year, like $150 million.
So he has made $174 million. Wow.
Maybe he can loan some to Tommy DeVito so Tommy can get his own apartment.
He doesn't want his own apartment. He likes the food at home.
Mom!
The meatloaf.
Meatloaf.
Did you see that last night? Brian Dable was asked, basically, do you think that Tommy DeVito is the next Tom Brady?
No.
Yeah, he was asked that. And Dable's like, slow your roll a little bit. He totally deflected the comment, but
because it's incredibly stupid.
Oh, of course it is. Of course it is. But my Lord. Oh, by the way, to be fair, if you watch Letterkenny, to be fair, the further irony of this entire thing is that if we had Tua, we would have lost both weeks. Like, that's even more irony. So Nabate would have been better off keeping him and go getting Joe Willie Flacco than Sam Laporta. It couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Nabate, we love you lots. We're just really happy that we have Garrett Wilson and Sam Laporta for next year. And now after we lose this week, because nobody wins again with Bailey Zappi and Joe Flacco, well,
that's why we're going Easton Stick, baby.
We may, it's funny. We have always lost because we don't have quarterbacks in the playoffs. Like, between Jimmy Clausen is still the one that just boggles my mind that we get a -1 out of a quarterback.
Greatest team we've ever had.
Yep.
It's like Bobby Knight's Indiana 1976 team. And then when he's walking out after the undefeated championship, his first comment is, it should have been 2.
Yep. So, I mean, we should probably play Easton Stick over Bailey Zappi, but we'll determine that tomorrow. But I think we're a little bit more set up for next year than we were before. And that's what we were looking for in the white flag game. Any comments? First of all, congratulations on your win, beating the Giants.
Congratulations on your win, beating the Texans.
Yeah, that made it even worse, didn't it? I mean, so the Tankathon now has the Jets at 7 and the Giants at 8. And the last time these two went back-to-back was Sam Darnold and Saquon Barkley. It was the other way around, but still, that was the last time.
The better one was, do you remember the time before that?
Hold on. Is it in our lifetime? Okay.
I could be wrong, but I believe.
Is it John Lamb Jones?
In our lifetime.
Is it John Lamb Jones? 1 and somebody went 2?
I think it's that we picked the same position.
Tight end? Kyle Brady and Derek Brown? No.
Not Kyle Brady.
Johnny Mitchell and Derek Brown.
I think they were back to back.
By the way, you got to give me credit for Derek Brown being that guy.
That is incredibly impressive.
And Johnny, I don't think that was back to back. I don't think that was back to back. I mean, he was 15th overall in the 92 draft. So 1992 NFL draft. I could be wrong. 15 is Johnny Mitchell. Nope. Oh, yeah, 14-15. You're right. Brown went first.
How about that?
Congrats. That's really good.
Right out of my...
Now, do you know who went 16? Who actually was a better player than both of them?
Everybody was a better player than both.
Chester McLaughlin, baby.
Ooh, to the Raiders.
And who went before them was Eugene Chung to the New England Patriots. That is well done. Well done, sir. I am impressed.
I don't remember what I did yesterday, but I remember that.
Well, when was the last time the Jets were before the Giants? I don't know if that's ever happened. Back to back.
What are you talking about? Did you have back-to-back number 1 overall picks at one point?
No. In this scenario, 14-15, the Giants went first. In the Saquon 2-3, Giants went first. When was the last time the Jets went first and they were back-to-back? I don't think that's ever
idea.
Right.
No idea.
And I don't think it's ever happened. So the Jets would be first here. Now, the strength of schedule is 5-11 versus 5-16. So it could very easily flip-flop over if they end up with the same record. The Jets play remember, it's worst strength of schedule goes first. The Jets play Miami, Washington, Cleveland, New England. New England will help that if they lose both games. The Giants play – no, the Giants are going to have a much better strength of schedule. New Orleans, Philly, Rams, Philly. Wow, you played Philly twice in the last 3 weeks.
Who cares? I mean, look, we have a chance against New Orleans because New Orleans just looks terrible. And credit to Dable that this team obviously has played the last few weeks. They haven't thrown, they didn't pull a judge on him. They're playing, and they played hard Monday night. Like, they played well.
Yep, and they played themselves out of a quarterback. In all likelihood,
unless they want Jaden Daniels.
Do you want Jaden Daniels?
I don't know. I want to see where we are. I don't know what I want. I can't swallow taking another offensive lineman in the first round.
Well, and that's where this basically comes down to, right? Is that the first round is a crapshoot. It always is, right? There's as many busts as there are superstars every year. So just to say we're going to pick a lineman and hope for the best. The Giants have done that. The Jets have done that. Everybody's done that, right? Mekhi Becton was supposed to be a beast, right? And here we are. I can name 10 offensive and defensive linemen that the Jets have picked in the last 20 years, and how many of them have actually been reasonable, if not Pro Bowl players.
Are you keeping Joe Douglas after this year?
Yes, 100%. And you're keeping Robert Saleh, 100%. I don't see, first of all, if you are all in on Aaron Rodgers, which they are, how you make that change at this point. I think you give it one more year with both of those guys and Aaron Rodgers, and you say, okay, this is where you are, right? I can't see. It would be like an NBA team. It would be like the Heat. No, Spoelstra is a bad example. It would be, let's say, Adrian Griffin with the Bucks, right? And they lose Giannis for the whole year. And they suffer because they lose Giannis. Are you going to fire Adrian Griffin after 1 year because you're not you didn't make the playoffs because you didn't have Giannis?
No, that'd be silly.
I don't think you can make that leap. And I don't think they will make that leap. Now, I wish some of those contracts like Alan Lazard weren't still on their cap, but by the way, the cap's going to go up $15 million next year, which is a huge lift. But it looks like Chicago has the first pick because Carolina is now 1-12. So Chicago has played very well in the last 3 to 4 weeks.
Yep.
They've won their last 2. Is this Justin Fields still his job next year, or are you playing that game?
I think you look around to see what you can get, but you're not tied to it. Because look, you're getting a potential. I would want Fields. I can see Atlanta making a run at Fields. I can see New Orleans making a run at Fields. The question being, if you get a Caleb Williams, number one, you start with the rookie contract all over again.
That was going to be my take on it. And that's why I think they do it, is they reset that cap. Because Fields is up for a big contract next year. Not next year, the year after. Sorry.
Year after.
If you're Atlanta or you're New Orleans, you have the 11th and 12th picks of the draft right now. If you're Chicago, I don't think you can get either one of those for Fields. I think you're looking.
You may have to throw it. It may be Fields in a third or Fields in a fourth for the first, something like that.
Well, if you're Chicago, you do that in a heartbeat, because then you have the first pick, the 5th pick, and the 11th pick in this draft.
I mean, Fields, with 2 years to go, Fields is a first-round pick, I believe. Now, I think at 11 or 12, again, I agree. I think it's a little high. But Derek Carr has been terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't say been terrible. He's been mediocre. Desmond Ridder is not the answer. I mean, what teams are legitimately looking for a quarterback for next year? So forget the Jets.
Right. So I was going to mention two things. First of all, Derek Carr is tied to that team for next year. It's guaranteed money. You cannot cut him. So if you're getting rid of him, you're eating $20 million in money, not in cap room, in actual money. So you're either trading Derek Carr on top of that. So you're getting Fields and trading Carr. That's a lot of moving parts. I'm not sure that works. Unless Carr goes back to Carr goes back to Chicago in the deal. And quarterback for quarterback trades never. I can't remember the last time.
No. So what's Chicago going to do with Carr?
Well, I think they sit Williams for 1 year and play Carr. Like that would be the deal, right? Again, I don't think it happens. Quarterback for quarterback deals do not happen in the NFL. I cannot remember the last one. So if you're looking at, Chicago maybe needs a quarterback. New England certainly does. But they are sitting at number 2. They are sitting at number 2, and number
Drake
2
May is
right there. But I will tell you, the last game of the year is New England versus the Jets. And if New England wins that game and drops to 4, Washington may jump them in the draft. And if Washington jumps them, does Washington take Drake May? No.
I don't think so.
They're a Sam Howell boomer bust at this point.
I think Sam Howell has played well enough. Again,
okay.
Unless they think May is a generational
so let's say Washington goes up to number 2 and Arizona is 3. And I know your feelings on Arizona that is Marvin Harrison's place. Right? If he comes out, that is his place. And so New England drops to 4. And Washington, if they're staying with Howell, there's no smokescreen. They're staying with Howell. And then May falls to 4. I don't know who Washington takes with number 2 unless they make a trade with somebody.
I can see a trade with the Raiders.
Well, right now the Raiders sit at 6, so I can see that too. Dropping down to 6 would be an advantageous thing for Washington.
You can take one of the offensive linemen.
Yep.
You can
or the defensive linemen or the edge rushers.
Because I don't think you're going wide receiver considering you're McLaren, Dotson, and Samuel. So that doesn't make sense to me. But your offensive line stinks.
Yeah.
So you can get the guy from Penn State. You can get John Alt from Notre Dame.
No, John Alt's coming to the Jets. I have a
just like Broderick Jones was last year.
I knew that was coming up. I was okay. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for playing. I know you have that Broderick Jones will forever be linked with Tyrese Halliburton and Josh Allen.
Speaking of Tyrese Halliburton, I was waiting for the transition of the segue. So,
Wow.
LeBron wins the one thing he's never won because it didn't exist until this year.
But who really won? It wasn't him. It was Tyrese Halliburton. Welcome to the party.
Welcome to publicity in Indiana.
Is it possible that Tyrese Halliburton may be a top 5 offensive player? Not top 5 player, just offensive player.
I don't know, but he's certainly no Obi Toppin.
Do you know that the 8, 10, 12, and 14 picks of that draft are on Indiana?
So it's those two. Is it Chris Duarte?
Nope.
Let me think here. Oh, is that Jalen Smith?
Yep. Let's see if you can get the last one. You want to know who he came from?
Sure.
Came from the Celtics.
Aaron Nesmith?
There you go. You got all 4. Jalen Smith was the hard one, obviously, because he just sucks. So,
no, he doesn't. They just signed him to like a 3-year deal.
He did suck. Now he is better.
No, he was on a team where he got no burn at all.
Much like Obi Toppin got no burn.
Yes, but the Suns didn't miss Tyrese Halliburton to pick Jalen Smith. Breathe.
Again,
it's okay.
Thanks for that reminder.
It's okay.
No, it's not.
Okay.
You know what? If you're the Knicks, you're okay right now. I mean, the Knicks are 13-9. The Pacers are 13-8. But welcome, seriously. Tyrese Halliburton and that team is so much fun to watch. Everything about that team. Tyrese Halliburton is averaging 26 points and 12 assists a game.
Yep.
I mean, that team can't play a damn lick of defense. But
nope.
My God, they are exciting. They remind me of the Mavericks. They are like the Eastern Conference equivalent of the Mavericks, where I can't play a lick of defense, but you are exciting to watch. Now, it would be nice if the Mavericks could stay healthy for more than a week. Anybody.
Is it? Would it be good?
Why not?
I mean, my favorite person related to the Mavericks isn't really going to own it anymore. I find it difficult to root for Kyrie.
I don't find it difficult to root for Luka.
I don't root for
the Mavericks, for all their injuries, are 15-8. I mean, they're not that bad. I mean, look, if you're looking for guys to root for on this Mavericks team, Grant Williams, I'll root for Grant Williams. I like Grant Williams. Seth Curry, always root for Seth Curry, just because he lives in the shadow of his brother. I will not ever root for Tim Hardaway Jr., ever, because that was one of the worst contracts the Knicks could have ever signed. Dante Exum, I like rooting for Dante Exum. Like that's a rehabilitation, right? Come back to the NBA. Derrick Jones Jr. can jump out of the damn building. Love rooting for him. Dwight Powell, like rooting for him. Josh Green, like rooting for him. There are a couple of people on this team. Rashawn Williams always gets looked over. You didn't even know Rashawn Williams was on that team.
Rashawn Williams.
He's the guy that used to play for the Kings, the center for the Kings.
Oh, I see. It's Rashard Holmes, I thought.
I'm sorry. I meant Holmes, not Williams.
It's
You're
okay.
right.
You don't have to run and hide away.
What are you singing? And why are you singing? Anyway.
Because it's a great song. Because it's okay. You will survive Tyrese anyway.
Well, I survived the fact that my owner, who would have put up more than $700 million, didn't get Ohtani.
Did you think he was really in the running for it?
No, never. I did not think at all that he was going to go to an East Coast team, no matter what. Like it was, I think Yamato will, but I didn't think Ohtani will. But my Seth, $700 $100 million for a baseball player, for any player, but for a base. This is not, we're talking EPL, which is where we generally go with these contracts that are in this amount of money. And the kicker is, did you see how it was all going to be paid out?
Oh, it's very Bobby Bonilla-ish.
So for those that do not understand how this is going to be paid out, for the next 10 years,
Bobby Bonilla reference as well.
I will get there. This is not Bobby Bonilla-ish. Bobby Bonilla instead of taking a one-time payout, took an annuity. This is every year for 10 years that he's deferring money. It's not a deferral for Bonilla. It was actually just a payout. He got interest. Like, this is ridiculous. So Ohtani signed basically a 10-year, $700 million deal. The first 10 years, he earns $2 million a year. The next 10 years, he earns $68 million every year. No interest on the $68 million.
And for those of you kind of a little bit shaking your head, he made $45 million in endorsement money last year.
Oh, he don't care. Like that. This is yeah. My thing about this is, if I'm the Dodgers owners, in 10 years, I sell the team.
I will tell them that.
Well, right? I mean, I've deferred all this money. Why would I not get out before the deferrals are due?
Because the money's already put into some version of an annuity, and it allows for the guarantee.
No, I get that part, but I don't have to pay it to anybody. It's still mine, right?
I mean, their thought is they're going to make enough on endorsements to cover this thing, or on marketing to cover this.
Okay. I mean, I agree with them that they will, but
they're pretty savvy. They're pretty savvy guys.
You think they own Guggenheim? I mean,
I know more about this one than you would think. They're pretty savvy guys.
I mean, Mookie Betts will earn $120 million in deferred money from 2033 to 2044. Freddie Freeman is set to earn $57 million in deferred money from 2028 to 2040. And here's Ohtani's money that is from 2034 to 2043. So in 2034, they pay Ohtani 68. They pay Mookie Betts' 12. So 68 and 12 is 80. And they pay Betts' 6. So they pay $86 million in deferred money. Now, props to Shohei Ohtani for coming. He said, all reports are he came up with this. Now, he or his advisor, somebody came up with this. Because the way that the MLB tax language I don't know what I'm doing. The way that the tax brackets work with regards to the MLB for luxury tax is that they are only applied on the present value of money. So the present value of this $70 million really is only 46. So they only get 46. So he is a $46 million player, according to the MLB tax language, which means he's not that much more than Mike Trout.
So if it's $46 million a year for 10 years.
Yep.
Yeah, so I assume they put the money into something. Yeah. So pretty much I get it.
So right now,
is Mike Trout going anywhere?
No, the Angels have already said he's not going anywhere. So he's not going anywhere. I mean, I'm looking at the Dodgers payrolls right now for next year. And according to this, they're at $130 million with Ohtani.
Well, because Ohtani's $2 million.
No, he's 46.
Oh, you're talking about the cap hit.
Sorry. They didn't add it. So he's at So they're at, for luxury tax purposes, had it here. Luxury tax purposes, where is it? Here we go. Competitive balance. So they're at an estimated 210 for next year. And the luxury tax, I believe, is 237. So they're actually under it with those three guys.
So they can go sign
Anybody they want. They are playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers. Like it, and it's easy when you have three of the best players in baseball, right? And they're all are taking deferred payments.
Well, to be fair, the Angels have three of the best players in baseball.
Who was the third?
Ohtani, Trout, and Anthony Rendon.
Oh, please. Rendon was never
all that wet.
Come on. Rendon was when you get so this is the difference. Okay. First of all, Mookie Betts has volunteered to play second base next year.
Yep.
For all those that are in fantasy baseball leagues, remember Mookie Betts now plays second base. That is an insane position swap for him.
That makes him the first overall pick, I would think.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, definitely, if he gets credit from this year and doesn't have to wait 20 games, certain leagues have certain rules. But yeah, he's definitely in the running. Him and Juan Soto are in the running for number one pick. Juan Soto going to your beloved Yankees for a bunch of crap because you'll eat $33 million. And now your lineup is, my God, older, and Soto. And the one thing that Juan Soto does bring is that he doesn't strike out, right? It's the same thing that Judge brings. It's a very interesting combination between the two of them. But until there's pitching in the Bronx, it won't matter at all. The same thing goes for the Mets. The same thing goes for the Dodgers. You can't bash your way out. And I think that that's what teams are realizing why Yamamoto is so sought after. And once Yamamoto goes, then we'll see Blake Snell and all those other pitchers come off.
Do you think he goes to the Mets?
Yeah, I do. I think Steve Cohen, look, Hal Steinbrenner says, we'll pay. I don't think he's going to pay. He's never done it before. I don't think he'll do it again. Do you think Juan Soto re-signs with the Yankees? That's the bigger question.
No.
Because of Hal Steinbrenner or just because they won't make – okay. So
I think someone will make – look, anyone who's under Boris goes for the biggest offer.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't think the Yankees make the biggest offers anymore.
I mean, Bryce Harper didn't go for the biggest offer. And by the way, seeing Bryce Harper now saying, oh, I want to renegotiate and add years when he's got like 8 more left. I mean, I guess – If you have the leverage, go for it, right? I mean, why not? You might as well throw it out there that I want to be a Philly for life. Can you tack on 4 or 5 more years at $35 million, please? And we'll be good to go. I mean, I don't have any issue with that whatsoever. But look, Hot Stove League is amazing. I know that the Baseball Hall of Fame is going to announce their electees. I believe it's in a couple of weeks. So we'll go through that next week. They announce it. Wait, vote live. It's January 23rd. We got plenty of time for that. I thought that was closer than it normally is. Isn't it normally around the holiday time that we see that?
I think so.
I know Jim Whelan's in the Hall of Fame. So him with the cigarettes. I mean, managers are a whole different ballgame. I don't really know how to value managers anymore. Same thing as I don't want to value coaches.
It's a commercial, Jakey.
Oh, hi, Jake.
You want to come on? You want to come on Zoom and say?
I didn't know Jake was on. Hey, Jake. I'm going to see you in a couple of weeks, buddy. I'm going to see you in a couple of weeks. Yeah, we're going to have a live broadcast in 2 weeks, right?
Yep, we're gonna do a live radio show in 2 weeks.
Live from the basement.
Do it with us. Okay.
Live from the basement of blank in Franklin Lakes, since we're not going to give any addresses. Because the last time I did that or gave phone numbers, I was called right after by my colleague who said, "What the hell are you doing?" So I remember that day.
We were trying to get you a girl.
No, I gave your phone number out. I remember that day. I remember the call. But yeah. Okay. So we're past Thanksgiving. We're into the Hanukkah Christmas season. So next week.
All right. This house seems to be going a little hyper right now.
The house?
I'm hosting the show, honey. Give me 5 minutes.
Hi, Carl. Miss you terribly. So the house is going nuts. Okay, so next week, Seth, you're going to be you'll be here, or you're going to be in
I'll be here. We leave on the 21st.
Okay, so we'll have a show next week. Then the week after, we'll probably have a show on Thursday, since you're coming back on Wednesday, right?
I come back on Wednesday. Yes, that seems about right.
So we'll probably have it on Thursday. So I have to make a work call. Do you have anything for the last 5 minutes? And then
go make your work call.
Right.
We'll talk next week.
All right.
Let's go Easton Stick and Joe.
Easton Stick. All right. Have a good day, everybody.